Okay, everyone, I thought I would give my personal opinion on something that's been weighing on me because I've wanted to mention this for a little bit. I've noticed that Bernie Sanders, and not just him, a lot of the left have been calling Trump an authoritarian. Well, this isn't just my opinion. I'm going to give you examples from history to disprove this and actually show you why the left is the authoritarians. First of all, arming yourself, the Second Amendment. Trump defends the Second Amendment. I'm not going to say he encourages you to get guns, but he defends your right to have guns. What tyrant has ever done that? What tyrant in history has ever defended their people's rights to own a gun? Did Stalin? No. No, the USSR disarmed its people. Cambodia under Pol Pot disarmed its people. China, when it went communist, disarmed its people. I mean, you can see this everywhere where a tyrant takes over, they disarm their people, and there's an obvious reason for that, because they know that eventually the authoritarian measures will become overbearing and they'll become unpopular, and they don't want to go the way of Nicolae Ceausescu. And if you don't know who he is, just watch a documentary on him. You can see when communism fell in the Eastern Bloc, he was the only communist dictator who met the fate of overbearing tyrants. And actually, North Korea did the same thing. They disarmed their people, and Kim Jong-il actually used that video frequently of Nicolae Ceausescu's execution, because when Nicolae Ceausescu was executed, he actually he was executed on live television on Christmas Day in 1989, I believe, and Kim Jong-il got video of it, and he would show the top brass of his country, hey, if we liberalize, if we do, I shouldn't say liberalize because that's become a bastard term, but if we open up and we allow, more freedoms, this is what will happen to you, and he would show that Ceausescu is being executed. So one of the biggest reasons is because he defends your right to own a gun. Tyrants don't do that. Tyrants disarm you. They don't defend your right to arm yourself. Now, which party wants to disarm you? Hello, the left. So, yeah, I would say that under that measure, definitely the left is more authoritarian. Now, let's also go with another one. Which political party wants to do censorship? Well, there's only one political party that is advocating for censorship with big tech, and that's the left. I mean, the right is actually being censored heavily online. So I would say that, all of that argument is dead on arrival, because, right-wing political commentators, libertarian commentators are being censored and deplatformed all over the place, and the left loves it. So, yeah, the left is being much more authoritarian there. And then, of course, this one is a bit more complex, so stay with me. Money. Now, for this, I have to go back to feudal, more hundreds of years ago with Japan as an example. Money. If you take people's money away from them, it's harder for them to resist, because if you take their money away from them and you confiscate a lot of money, they can't organize as well. Now, there was a shogun in Japan who he was worried that the samurai and the people under him would rebel. So what the shogun did was he instituted heavy taxation, and then he instituted a law saying that all lords, not lords, but all high-level samurai or whatever, they had to actually own property in the shogun's capital, in the emperor's capital. And maintaining a second house was expensive, and this drained a lot of their resources. But then he also introduced a fine saying that you had to pay for this fine as a for the privilege of living in the emperor's capital. So, you had, first of all, you're being heavily taxed. You are, having to maintain a second home, which is quite expensive in that time period. Even today is quite expensive, and you had to pay a fine, or a tax or whatever, in order for the privilege of having a home in the capital. And that it actually worked very well. It proved to be an effective treatment against rebellion, because these people who would otherwise organize and rebel against the government didn't have the means to do so. So, that was a very effective way. And let me ask you, which political party wants to let you keep your money versus wants to take it from you? Well, obviously, the left is the one that wants to confiscate your money and redistribute it. Maybe not confiscate, but you got idiots like Bernie Sanders calling for a 60% tax on wealth, and there's actually reasons why a wealth tax would be disastrous in this country. It would lead to nationalization of assets. I could make another video on that, but for now, that's basically it. I just wanted to give my thoughts on why the left is actually being the authoritarians that they're accusing Trump to be.